morning. On this video I'm going to do a little bit about something that I've been studying for quite a while now, and it's freshwater sources. I have over the last year been watching 3 local springs that not many people know about. I like them because I just like the idea that I don't have to carry, if I'm wild camping, I don't have to carry around big massive bottles of drinking water. I'd prefer to just get it straight from source and use a few different methods to purify and filter the water. So this one that we're going to trek up to today, I've been watching it for, like I say, around about a year, and it's been a steady flow constantly. I've done a little bit of homework on it, and in the area where it is, it's in private woodland, and there isn't any sort of drainage or anything that makes us think it's going to be contaminated water from a sewage supply or anything like that. It's literally in the middle of nowhere, and it's right up a bank, and it's coming straight through. We've been watching it, like I say, and we're at the point now where it is constant flows throughout the year. Even in the summer, it still flows constantly, and it's all coming up from the ground. It's not coming out of the ground, if that makes sense. It's not coming from any sort of source other than rock coming upwards. You can see an upward flow to it, and it all flows downhill into this little stream. Now this is private woodland, so I'm going to keep this source private, and I'm going to keep it hidden. I'm not going to try and give any locations away unless you know this land very well. So the reason I found it is through using this for different like falconry and bush type displays, this little private piece of woodland, and there's always been this little flow leading down into the stream. So we decided to follow it one time, and it comes from what I did strongly believe at the time to be a freshwater spring. So we're going to have a trek up today. We're going to get some water from the source, and we're going to filter it and make a cup of tea, and then take it from there, see what it's like. One of the things that I have noticed while I've been monitoring this is there's a lot of deer tracks come up this way. I'm not sure if they're trying to tell us something, that they know that it's clean water, they're not drinking from the stream. Well, I've got a lot of deer here. You never see them drinking from the stream, but there's a lot of deer tracks, and they're always fresh, leading to this point. So I tend to always go on nature knows better than we do, and I'm going to go with that notion. Right, so we're nearly there. Excuse if I'm a bit out of breath, like, because it's quite a bit of a climb. We're nearly at the top of the trees because it is a valley, that one. So the higher up that I get, the steadier and the stronger the flow's getting. There's more deer tracks right near the source. So, right, managed to get to the source. It is a good climb, it's a really good climb. And it sounds a bit weird because the other 3 that I've been watching, there is logic in why I've climbed up here. The other 2, that I've been watching are at ground level. They're not too far from the stream. They're in places, like I say, I'm convinced, after a lot of research and a lot of monitoring, they're not from any sort of, it's not coming from anything man-made, it's coming from the ground. But I always find it better to source your water from uphill, and that is just giving it more time to filter. The ones down the side of the stream and like at ground level, they haven't had as far to travel. Now these, what we're sitting on here, is a huge, it's all limestone, so this water here has had a chance to travel a lot further through pretty dense limestone, and that gives it a chance to filter a bit more, get any pathogens out of it, and you tend to get a cleaner source. Where down at the bottom it's full of leaf litter and just dirt, where this it's always better to get it from uphill where it's had further to travel. So this is the source here. Now a while ago, it was, when we started watching it, it was full of rocks. It was just coming out through rocks. We've cleared a bit of a hole. I've been watching it. That definitely doesn't come down. It's not any overspill, and it's not anything coming from a field, from like a rainy day or anything like that. It's just constantly like this all year round. Does dry off a tiny little bit, but not much. It's still a good flow, and that hole leads downwards. It's not coming up. It's not coming off the field, sorry. The water's coming up through all these stones. So there is a little bit of dirt in there. Obviously it's soil on the banks and mud. So we're going to get some into a bottle and have a little look and see what it looks like. So I've just cleared a little, some of them leaves away. And then what I'm going to do is just sort of collect the top bit of the water, just so I'm not getting much mud in, any dirt. You can see it's pretty clean. And I'm just going to collect my water just like that. So I've got myself a good little bottle of water there. You can see there, it's crystal clear. There isn't much dirt in it. Just because it's crystal clear to the eye though, it doesn't mean that there isn't anything floating around in there that's like microscopic that we cannot see, which is why we filter and boil the water. So I have had drinks of this before and I've come out alright. I've been testing it. I've never come out too bad or bad at all. The reason that I've just filter the water is just to get out any excess dirt that's in there, because it can taste a little bit earthy, if you know what I mean. And then you just boil it just to make extra sure. It's not worth, if you're outside camping and you're getting your water, that you drink some dirty water that you haven't boiled, you haven't been extra careful with it, and you just end up in a situation that you really didn't want to. Another good reason on why you want to try and get as close to the source as you can to somewhere like this is, if that stream at the bottom of this valley looks crystal clear, I can get a bottle of that and it looks just as clean as the one that we've just getting. But you don't know what's been floating around upstream. You don't know if there's any dead animals in the water and any bacteria just flowing down off them. So if you are going to source it straight from a stream that you think is fresh water, it's best off getting up as far as you can and tracing the water, making sure nothing's dead. Other than a hobby, like bushcraft and survival, it is a job. It links in with my falconry, but it's during the week. A lot of people ask what we do during the week, why I do so much bushcraft and why I'm outdoors a lot. I run an educational program, and it's all based around outdoors, bushcraft, falconry, survival, cooking. Like the videos will cover. But we can rope it in with science as well. I like to make every session where it's not just about building camps and having campfires and flying birds. I like my pupils to get something, a bit of education out of it. So I have got my pupils are down the bottom, they are helping us do these videos, so they're getting something out of it and they're learning something. They're not just having fun. It's an outdoor, we're trying to make it an outdoor classroom. They might not take this in if they're sitting reading a textbook, but when they're actually doing it, they're taking part, the outside sourcing the water, they know it's safe, then that's a great learning experience for them as far as I'm concerned. I think it's a skill that a lot of people do need and a lot of people are forgetting. You've just got to be careful though, because not too long ago we did have a lad out and we're talking about clean water sources, how to trace water, how to filter it, what you should be looking for and danger signs, etc., making it nice and safe for him. And this lad, he doesn't fit very well in school. He didn't fit very well in school, and he just didn't have any concentration. But this, he was turned right, he was clicked on, and he was loving it, and I could see he was taking it all in. When we got back to my education centre though, I turned round and somebody was there cleaning a car. Now, earlier that day I had told him, if you're going to source water from a stream, make sure it's white water, where it's rolling over rocks, it's moving water, never stagnant water. You want it like coming down off a waterfall where the rocks are helping to filter it. As long as it's white, it'll be clean, or it'll be as clean as you're going to get it out the stream. And somebody's sitting cleaning a car, and there he was, just about to cup his hands, and he had a cup of foamy water, and it was all the soaps. He didn't drink it. I managed to but warn him just in time. I was more happy though that he had listened. He thought that the running soapy water was clean, so in a way it was good. bit dangerous, but it was good that he had listened, he had took it on. So that's one of the reasons that we do this sort of stuff, is it's more educational for our school projects. So now we've got a bottle of water, I've let it settle for a bit. We're going to head back down and give it a filter and give it a boil up. So we're back down to land level. Much easier getting down than it is getting up. And what I've done is I've just soaked off a filter bag. They've got loads of names, milk cloths. I just call it a filter bag. I am having my dinner cooked for us. I've got a day off, and one of my learners is just over the back there cooking my dinner on a fire for us today, because he says it makes a nice change from me doing it for them. But the water's all settled now. Like I was saying, I have tried the water, I have sampled it a few times, been all right. It's exactly what you would expect. It's cold, tastes fresh. It's a little bit soily, especially if you use the tap water, but I've never been bad from it or anything like that. So it actually tastes really nice. It's really cold, really fresh. But like I say, I wouldn't take on massive quantities of it unless I really had to. So it's always best to be safe and just get it filtered. I'm going to filter it just to be safe, because I don't want to make a cup of coffee from it once I've boiled it over. But it tastes lovely. It's just, you never know what's floating around in there that's microscopic, so you just best have to be safe. But like I say, it is really nice, really fresh. And I've done my homework, so I've got no problem in taking in small doses of it, small quantities of it, and I'm pretty confident I'll be absolutely fine. Now, there is a few different techniques that people like to use other than boiling, which is what I'm going to do today. That's the bag that I filter. I'm going to soak it with the water from the source that I'm getting a few bottles of it, so I can soak it right through, and that'll take out any soil, any little bits of dirt, and they'll all hang into this bag, and that'll just drip through into me cup or into my bottle. The other things that you can use are these straws. I've always found these pretty good. I've used these for a long time, and you can drink the water through them, and that filters them. They're all good. I've never had a problem with them, and when I find them, just to be extra safe, you've got your water purification tablets. You just pop them in, wait a little bit, and then it's good to go. But for the day, I'm just going to go with a bag and boil and see what happens. So this is just my little setup. I've got the bag hanging with my water inside the bag, and then we'll just let it drip down, and it'll come through by itself. It'll come through nice and clean and just drip into the cup. So just had my dinner. I've had some lovely corn on the cob made over this little firebox here, this little firebox that we use. We wanted to travel late today. Now, I put the water on, the fire was still going strong, so I put the water on after we filtered it, and that's how you want it there. You want it up to a rolling boil. And I'm just going to leave that for a little bit longer, just to make extra sure. You can see there, it's boiling away, and that should be it done and ready for a cup of coffee. Like just what fascinates me about freshwater springs is just that a lot of these springs that you find, if you've definitely got a freshwater spring, natural water, it could have been in the ground for thousands and thousands of years. It's come right up from different sources, and it's been filtered through the rock. It's as clean as you're going to get. I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but you do have like a lot of people saying chlorine in normal tap water, it does stuff to you, it changes your mind. I'm not into that. I do love to drink my tap water as well, but this, I just think, is something caveman about getting back and drinking it from the ground. I think it's pretty cool, and it just makes it a little bit more interesting. I mean, water's seen as a boring drink, but when you're sourcing it from the ground, it's not boring. I think it's great. Just as a bit of an example, and just to put the fire out, and not leave any embers or ashes burning away. We've just been down to the stream and getting a bottle of water straight from the stream, and you can see straight away that there's difference. That is a bit of mud on the bottle on the outside, but you can see the clarity difference. There's a hell of a big difference in that. You can see the dirt. I'll see if I can get a close up, but you can see dirt floating around inside of it. So that up there, that was just sourced crystal clear. This from a nice running fast stream, scruffy, full of mud that's getting all churned up by the water. So that's me dinner finished and my cup of coffee. I hope you've enjoyed that video, and it's not a how-to or a tutorial or I know better than anybody. I always do the videos just on my own experience, my own learning, and it's just maybe something to share to people. So the videos there, it is an educational thing, but it's not there to tell you how to do it. You have got to be extra careful. Do your homework before drinking any water. Certainly don't drink it from runoff car washes, and don't just go into any stream and pick it up. I'm not saying this is a how-to or this isn't a tutorial. I wouldn't call myself an expert in any form. This is all just from my own experience. That's always served as okay, and my own knowledge of especially of the land. I know this land like the back of my hand, sort of thing. And I've done my homework on the land, so I'm very confident that I'll be alright in the morning. So I hope you've enjoyed that one, and just remember to like and subscribe to the videos, and subscribe to the channel and like the videos.